Doctor, is it Dinan? They've been ignoring you. And so I just wanted to come to you. I'm going to have a question for all 5 of you, and it's simple yes or no, and I don't want you to give away the answer. Just do you know the answer? MTBE. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson, since you run some Wendy's franchises, you may or may not know what that is.
No, sir.
Okay. And is it Dr. DeCicco? Okay.
Yes, I know what MTBE is.
Mr. Coleman?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it, yes.
Okay, Dr. Drevna? Okay. So this is a push to do away with MTBE, aka methyl tert-butyl ether, as I understand it. Ostensibly because MTBE was found in groundwater. Is that right? Any of y'all? All of you, Dr. Drevna?
MTBE was found in groundwater because we had a leaking underground storage tank debacle in the country. And EPA passed a regulation that gave underground storage tanks 10 years to comply. But then our RFG renewable RFG2 came into play. And we had to put more of an oxygenate into the gasoline.
Okay. Do we know what effect ethanol has in groundwater?
If you have a leaking underground storage tank, by what I've seen in the studies, would indicate that the ethanol will separate out first from the water, whereas the bacteria would go after the BTEX compounds, benzene, toluene, xylene, in the underground water, and the MTBE would traverse further. The bacteria likes their cocktails before dinner, so they go for the ethanol first. But in essence, I think we fixed the underground storage tank problem in the country, which was the root of the problem.
So according to Wikipedia, stand by, Mr. Coleman, I'll come to you.
Okay.
MTBE was not very soluble in water.
It was very soluble in water.
It's very soluble in
Yes,
water.
yes.
Okay.
So is ethanol.
And so ethanol is, but you said it separates out quicker.
No, what happens? Ethanol has an affinity for water.
Okay.
That's why when one of the previous witnesses talked, or maybe it was Mr. Chairman, talked about the outdoor power equipment and the marine people. The marine folks don't like a lot of ethanol, if at all, in use in marine equipment because the ethanol will separate out. And
That's because it's corrosive to the inside of a steel engine. Is that correct?
Well, it's corrosive to certain pumps and flanges and hoses and things.
Okay.
But again, the reason for the marine folks who don't want it is because ethanol has an affinity for water.
Okay, Mr. Coleman, you wanted to weigh in.
Yeah, just a quick thought. When MTBE went in gasoline, we had a massive drinking water problem because MTBE was highly soluble in water, and it actually extended the plume into drinking water aquifers. When we replaced MTBE with ethanol, we no longer had that problem. And
Okay.
And Mr. Drevna's view is that all of a sudden the underground storage tanks were fixed. Our view is that it's a better biodegradable product.
Okay.
And then I'll yield on the second part.
Mr. Brennan, you had another question, or Dr.
Yeah, I have a comment on that, and some of the things that my colleague here, Mr. Coleman, has been talking about, a free market. MTBE, the RFG2 was a free market. The ethanol folks clamored because the consumer didn't want ethanol. The consumer still doesn't want it in massive quantities.
Well, we've had another, in a committee that I chair, the Energy Subcommittee, we've had a group of gas stations owned by farmers in Ohio area, I think, or maybe it was Iowa, I'd have to go back and look, who actually couldn't sell enough of this stuff in the very heart of corn country. So from an economic standpoint, it just wasn't really flying.
Mr. Weber, could I just add one quick comment?
Sure.
Because he's attacking our industry. So I know.
Wait, now, if we have a difference of opinion, that's not an attack, right?
No, yeah. But
Okay.
the record is open for 2 weeks. We would be happy to provide further information about the demand.
So you'd be happy to counterattack?
Perhaps counter-argue.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it at that, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to yield back.